Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Triple Threat Comics YouTube channel. I'm your host, Dean Miller. Tonight, I'm welcoming back a very good friend of mine and a very talented writer and artist in his own right. And he's currently inking Codename Hunter, which I'm very excited about. Please welcome to my friend Enrique Lopez. Welcome back, Enrique.
Hello, Internet Universe. We are back.
uh, it's good to have you back. It really is. It's been a while.
It's been a blue moon, practically, but
Yes, yeah, I would say so. Yeah,
we're
but
we
we got
live.
a lot of stuff to talk about, so let's get to it.
Really? Okay. What do we have to talk about? What are we talking about? Okay.
Well,
Let's see where we are right now. Let me open up over here. The Chasm, which is one of my stories that I wrote three plus years ago.
yeah,
It's finally hitting the what do you call it? The publishing area, because we finally got it out here in Kickstarter, and it launched today. And I'm trying to pull it up to see what our number is right now, because a little while ago we had already passed 50%, and we're closing in on 65%. So let me see where we are, and let me go into my website. Actually, I think we can find it right there. Just real quick. Let me see. Where are we looking at?
hmm,
Let me see where we're looking at number right now. It is, whoa, look at that, 100. We're already at 1,000 of a 1,500. So I would say roughly we are almost two-thirds of the way, and we've only been
this
at it for a
is
few hours. So it's
this
not too shabby, not too shabby.
this is fantastic, and this is for Chasm is in Strange Stories Volume Two.
That is right. It is Caleb Thusat approached me a few months ago and said if I wanted to contribute a story, and I said, "Well, I have a story. It is ready. It is written, penciled, inked, colored. Not only missing the what do you call it, the lettering." And he says, "Well, I can letter it. Let me." And I said, "But it's in a different size." He says, "We'll make it work." And to his credit, he did. So it was originally supposed to be color. Then he told me his book is in black and white. And then I said,
Mhm.
okay, so not a problem. Well, I transferred it to, I just went in there and I didn't want to redraw the whole thing. So I was very lazy with it. So I just went with converting to grays, which is never the same thing as actually doing a black and white. But I said,
Yeah,
I didn't have access to the original files at that moment. And I said, let's go with it. But then 2 days ago, he approached me saying, look, man, the printing house that I'm using actually gives me a good deal for color. So we're going color now. I'm like, really? Some people weren't
nice.
ready. We were all ready. I was saying, well, fine. So I told him, just, what do you need? Just send me the file. So I actually found the original files of the coloring, which have all the color separation. So had I found that a few months ago, I could have gone in and done a really nice blacks. But now it doesn't
Yeah,
matter. Now we went with the color. So instead of getting, let me see what we got here. Yeah, instead of getting this, let me pull this up here really nice up the light. There we go.
very
Uh,
nice.
Instead of getting that now on the right, when seeing the book, you're gonna get it like that.
Ooh,
So
lovely.
this was one of the things that I showed it off the other night, and I like the way the textures work on this and the in dual tone. It was one of those tests. It was okay. This is page two. You can see page two now. It's like this was really nice
Yeah,
little splash page, and now you got it as nice little color right there. And it's one of those things that this was originally going to be for volume two of Not So Fair Tales.
mhm,
And the first Not So Fair Tales, I contributed three stories, and it did really well. So I was like pumped for the second run. And unfortunately, it fell prey to what other people situations happened that half of the artists or creators did not have their artwork ready for when we needed them to have it. So,
Oh,
I mean, had it been maybe 75% of us ready, maybe it could have gone through. But at half, I pushed. I said, no, man, let's just go with the half of us. Go like, not really. They were like, it's not going to be cost effective, with the
mm,
number of pages, etc. The need. So they basically killed the project. And because I didn't draw this one, it was drawn by a buddy of mine, Ben Worrell.
yeah,
Um, I approached him to say, look, man, I'm thinking about maybe um, doing a little ash can for a show I'm doing or something like that. And he didn't want to like the idea because when we agreed to do the project, it was like looking at a certain number of buyers, that was going to have our artwork out there. Producing 10 copies, 20 copies is not the same as doing a Kickstarter. So I understood where he was coming from. So we shelved it. And when this came around, I told him, look, man, this is now going to have a Kickstarter. We're going to do it again. Can I have go ahead now. So he's got to get some copies and stuff, and it was all good. So, but it was one of those things that was just sitting in limbo for 3 years, and I was disappointed because I found that my inks were really good. I loved the coloring that I did. The
yeah,
story was solid, and it was just sitting there. And I know a lot of artists we have that. It happens a lot. I mean, I have two stories, one completely done and another one halfway done for another anthology that just died. I mean, he put it out, and it wasn't well promoted initially to get it, to get the people interested before we launched it. So it pretty much died within the first week.
ugh,
And I have the original art, and all the work's been done. On one of them is still we needed to work a lot of it on it, but I spoke to that editor, and he was like, "Are we ever going to do that?" And he was going like, "I hope so." Well, I'm eventually going to just produce them myself and put them in something. I don't know. There might be something coming soon that I can use it in. You never know. So
yeah,
we shall see. We shall see. But yeah, I'm really happy to see that right now we've got 41 backers. I mean, we had over 100 people getting notified, so we had the good number to start. So having 41 in already, which is good, that's great. So it's looking like after one day to be at that number,
yeah,
um, it's good. I mean, there's a very good chance. He's also very short. He's only doing 16 days, um, so within 2 weeks we'll know where the status is because by that time, at the end, like the last 48 hours, Kickstarter starts sending those who wanted to be notified like a notice. Hey, you remember you wanted to be involved with this? Here it is during the last few hours. So hopefully,
yeah.
but I have a feeling that we're going to be probably over by it. I have another podcast coming up on Monday. My hope is
Mhm.
that it'll be moot, mostly like, hey, go in there and get some stretch goals. Like, just go in there
I
and get
think it
some
will
stretch.
be. Yeah.
I mean, because some of the stretch goals include adding stories, so that's going to be really nice. I don't know yet if I'm going to be involved in the next volume 3. He's working on it already. I got a
Okay.
lot of things on my plate right now, but I don't. You never
Yeah.
know. Maybe I'll get one of those stories in there again. If he does color, I might put in that other story that never got published in there. It's not really that strange, but it could work. So we'll see. It's
Yeah.
one of those, like, it's a project that a lot of uh, local artists are involved, and Caleb wrote a lot of the stories himself. This is basically his project, so he wrote a lot of it. Just got people to draw him and stuff. So we'll see. I mean, it's like at least this is a project of mine that's finally showing up. I
Yeah.
mean, there are projects you and I are involved that are going to take until 27 to see the light of day, and it's like, yeah, okay, whatever. And I still got to talk to my artist for one of them because he's not doing well health wise. So
Oh
start.
man.
I gotta start maybe looking for options just in case. Which is,
Yeah.
man, it's the way of this world to make, man. We sit around these tables and these chairs for so long, and things start to mess up. So that's why I'm back at the gym and stuff, because we
Yeah.
can't, man. Yeah, so you can see a lot of early backer discounts. You get the first volume. You could also get it again.
Yeah.
Um, it's a nice little project, and it's like I said, it's I'm really happy that it's fine. It's really running through quickly. I mean, Caleb has a big following himself, so
Yeah.
um, his email list is huge, so he's pushing it at there, and it's also very reasonably priced, and I just think that he also was very conservative with his number. I mean, 1,500 is a pretty good number. I think it's going to probably break over that.
Yeah.
And I'll be running into him soon when I head over to Ohio. Guys, got two conventions in Ohio this year, so I'll
Oh,
definitely bring into him.
absolutely. But this is fantastic. It looks great. Obviously, we get to the stories now, and now, folks, I have seen pages of Chasm before because I watched it in its infancy and him starting to actually draw and ink it. So I know what it looks like. It looks fantastic.
I really like Ben is really good. Ben Worrell, the artist who helped me with the layouts, he's very
Yeah,
good at using for sci-fi and mechanical stuff and making it look like that. Um, what I liked about when I work with Ben is that he really improves what I'm thinking, in the sense of when I write, because I have my artist background, I write down the script, but then I start doing my own layouts of
yeah,
pages.
same here.
And by doing that, I kind of look to see how I want to do it. But for example, there are some pages. There was one page. Let me see if I have it up here. That in particular, I ended up doing like a 3-panel combination, something like that.
Yeah,
And um, and I was thinking, this is going to work. But when I gave it to Ben, Ben says, "Well, I have this idea." So from the whole concept, let me pull this one out and let me see where the color page is, because that's a pretty cool looking page as well. Here it is. Because it's funny that I had the color pages done because I did it as a test. And they're not even on individual pages; they're double sided. It's like
wow.
they're double sided. It was just testing it out to see, will this work? And I wanted to, because I was going to meet with the editors at a show in Pennsylvania. I thought, well, let me take it there, because I don't know if they're going to like the idea, because it was a
Yeah,
full color book and I wanted to do dual tones. So I remember when I showed it to them, they were like, well, just out of curiosity, is this what you're doing for coloring? And I was like, oh shit. Yeah. Yeah. Good, because we really like it. It's like it was like flats or something. I was like, no, this is it. This is what it's going. So going back, so I did that page and I thought about it like in three long panels,
yeah.
3 panels. Okay. Ben came back to me for that same page with 10 panels. He did that.
Wow, that makes more sense. Wow.
And
Yeah,
it works because you see on this side, one of the characters is getting all his stuff done. On the other side, this is another character doing the stuff. And then when you put it in with the color, it really
yeah,
comes out. It really works out. But yeah, it was like basically you're seeing the effect of one character working with the other at different extremes, and it really conveys it a lot better. So I appreciate that coming at me with those new ideas, and I'm like, okay. I mean, looking back at this, I still say after 3 years, I go like, well, I would, if I were inking it today, I'd probably do a few different things. But I like the way the line weights are working on this one, the way the distances are working a lot, and a lot of these things, the solid looks and stuff. Some of these
yeah.
panels really pop out. But there's some things I look at, I go like, okay, I know what that could have been better. Like, I'm, like, Really? Really? Hopefully the color hides it. But
I don't.
the only thing is that, and I, it's just because the limiting. Uh, Caleb doesn't have the same skill set, maybe as a letterer, as other
Mm,
people have. Originally, page 3 was supposed to have like the title, the Chasm on it,
yeah,
and it was supposed to be like in blocky letters, and it had a whole idea for it. And the problem was that once it moved off into this other book, the end, I had to decide if I put it there, then the ending has this block in there already, which was to put originally the block was to be to put in there was not for the credits, it was for explaining what the story was originally about, because we were doing stories based off of parables and stuff like that, and like folk stories and stuff,
yeah,
and we wanted to show at the end what the whole concept was, because mine was based off the story of the crow and the pitcher. Now that's a story in which a crow is trying to drink some water that's inside a pitcher, and his beak can't reach the water, so he goes out and finds his pebbles, and while he puts pebbles in, the water rises, and then he's able to drink. Pretty similar, you got a guy who goes down into the chasm. How are we going to get him out? And the whole idea is, let's throw some stones in there, and he'll weld them because they're made of metal. So it's basically that's what it is. So using the whole concept is basically the same thing. But the thing
yeah,
is that, uh, unlike the story, here's a time constraint. So he's losing air. His oxygen is falling, is hissing out, and he has to get out quick. Otherwise, he's going to die. So
yeah,
adding to that, that's why this is in this very short 10 pages. You get a lot of quick movement. It's really hectic. It really start actually it's less than that, because the first 3 pages are when we establish it, and then in the next 7 pages, he's got to save himself. So it's really, really quick, and that's one of the cool things about that. I like that it was able to be, because of the limited pages, it works to give that urgency and stuff. I like it. I think it's a really cool story. I think people are going to really enjoy it. Um, and for now, I'm hoping that things keep moving, and it'll actually get published. And let's see if any chance anything has changed. Nope, it looks the same. So yeah. Oh, there you can see. Oh, he switched it up to put the color on. There you go.
yeah.
No. Oh, he's got the words up. Good. My side. I asked him to send them to me, so I'm gonna have them later. So yeah.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, it's just one of those things that the way I work with Ben and most people, I just leave them with their own devices. I will send them my little kikograms, like I'm taking the term from Ridley Scott, the Ridley grams. I take my little kikograms. I'll send them here. It
yeah,
is. Take a look at that. Don't need to follow it, but I will on occasion be very specific about certain things. I think we can talk about some of it, where Ian and I we're both working on a project for Sierra Nova,
yeah,
that's coming out in 27 now, and and for that one there are specific moments that I'm looking to convey in the art. So,
yeah,
and there will be moments that I will be telling the artist, like there's supposed to be this scene where this guy has this light being shining on him, and I want to make sure that the effect is that he's looking from this way from the guy towards the light, and you see the light trying to go through the hand and the whole thing of that effect. That's what I'm
yeah,
trying. I want to get that blinding look either that way or depending if I really want to switch it around, have him being blinded like this and going like, what's going on, that's gonna be specific. I
yeah,
want to tell the artist, I want to see this version versus that version, and I think it's gonna work with him trying to get blinding going like this and stuff, because of the next thing that happens. Now that project is pretty cool. We can't talk about it, but
yeah.
all we can say about it is that if you like 80s slasher movies and stuff like that, you're gonna love this one. You're gonna love this
Oh
book.
yeah,
So it's homage. It's an homage to all that. So
yeah,
so yeah. Hopefully that'll be something to be cool, really cool in 27. So we'll see that one of the stories I have out there is actually one that's I use it as an homage to Creepshow, and that's one of the stories that never got published, and it's also
Yeah,
sitting there. That one I worked on with Len Danovich. You probably know him
that's
here from
right. Yeah, yeah.
and Len worked on it, and he did a good job in creating the little creature like who says, "Come, Queenies, we gotta talk to you." And and I was trying to channel my Bernie Wrightson in that one because it was going to
Oh,
be only Barney black and white. But we never
yeah,
got around. It only got around to a certain point. They were still missing certain things. So I think eventually we'll go back to it when Lenny has time and we can get into it and probably
yeah.
get finish that one up and stuff. Yeah, but it's just like I'm looking at the catalog. You know, there've been a few things like for Stupendous a few years ago. I did the Massive Man uh, story, which was very tongue in cheek. It was making fun of superheroes thing, and um, and I had to do that version because the version I really wanted to have done was basically I sold the pitch to Stupendous originally was when a superhero story isn't heroic, and
Yeah.
um, and he was like, hmm. And unfortunately, when we hit when we were working on it, it's when COVID hit, and he wanted to keep it much more lighthearted. So he said, "Can you switch the story up?" So it caused me to get really crazy. But that's when Eric Hernandez came in to help me on a page because I was
Yeah.
running out of time. Eric, no, it's Eric also works with Ian on Triple Threat. He's on Soul Eraser, so he jumped in, and it was funny because I explained it to him like in 30 minutes. I had a page. I'm like, dude, what the hell?
That's Eric
Seriously?
for you. Yeah, that's Eric for you because he thinks about certain pages, faster than you and I could think. Because usually we take our time figuring out, okay, what like the pair looks like. You talk to him in 30 minutes, what you just did with him. He gets it. He gets the idea very fast, and he'll just start really drawing things out.
It was funny because it was like when I saw it, I was like, dude, what the hell? He was like, he says, you explained it to me really well. And that was
Yeah.
like, I get it. So he understood exactly what I was looking for. And then I said, well, now that you did that one so quick, let's do page 5. Help me
Yeah.
with that one. And that's how he got in there in the story with two pages with me. But so I want to explore Massive Man again because that story was always intended to be a lot more serious, a
Yeah.
lot more serious. It was very tongue in cheek. It was very fun. I did a lot of homages in that book. First panel was an homage immediately to the credits of of the original Batman movie, in which you see Gotham for the first time. That was the same kind of
Yeah.
look, angle. When Massive Man jumps into the skylight, he is basically in the same position as Hulk was under Arthur Adams years ago.
Yeah.
When he falls through the skylight and gets all messed up, it's a full page work in my homage to Will Eisner. So it was like a lot of stuff in one shot. And then all of a sudden I had Eric come in and he gave it that oomph to give me that. Because the thing is that it was supposed to be like, I wanted him to fight like 10 guys, but I couldn't draw him. And it's like, I can't make this look good. And then I told Eric, look, I only need you to fight him to fight 2 guys. Can you help me? Yeah, I'll do that, man. Yeah, there's no problem. Okay. So he was like, boom, in 2 seconds, it was up. And then it was a quick story. But I want to explore it because that story is. I remember, like, I actually did the layouts for the story as it was going to be. I was going to draw it,
Yeah.
and I saw it the other day. I'm like, wow, I think it's still relevant. I think it will still be relevant. But again, it's one of those things that now that I look at it, I go like, how do I want to approach it now? And now that I can go back and just not do one story, I think that'll be the end of the full story. And how do
Yeah.
we get to that point? And that's where now I can explore it probably a little more. And also there's stories in Not So Fair Tales that I did for the Jacko story, which I did it with John Muller here in New Jersey. Um, that story also had a great review. Everybody loved it. Um, and I'm and John has mentioned to me that he would love to continue on that storyline. And I said, well, the way I'm thinking about going with it would be this way. And I don't know if he was willing to go with me on that journey of the way I wanted, because that way is really weird. But he did mention one thing. He said, dude, we got to get rid of the jacket. I said, why? I hate drawing that jacket, man. The jacket is a pain in the ass. Every time he moves, I got to do something like that. Can we just make it look like he loses it every once in a while? And he's like, I go, okay, I'll play with that. I'll play with that. So give you a break. Give you a break. Yeah, because he wears his jacket. So I know exactly what he's talking about. So I'm like, okay, let me help the artist here. We'll figure something out. Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's see, that one had a really nice last 2 pages, and especially the last two because there were splashes. So anyway, Strange Tales again. Let me see if there's any movement. Not yet. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it's still in the same stages as we just saw. No, I do. Let's see what you got. And come on, people, you're watching the show. Go in there, do one more, do another. Bitches. Anyway, it's good. Go in there, support it, and you won't regret it. Find me if by any chance you do get it through the Kickstarter. And again, you live in the New Jersey area or you see anywhere in the areas that I'm do shows, bring that puppy to my shows, man. I'll sign it for free. I love the people to support the project. So you will get a free signature from me as soon as you come in. And it's like, come on over to the table. We'll get it done. So,
Yeah.
But first, we got to get it funded so you can get
Yeah.
into your little hands, little granular hand, and bring that little thing there. But that is not all we're talking about. No, sir. It's finally, after about 2 years of
Oh
on and
God, here we go.
2 years of on and off here between
Uh,
you and between me, it's like it was like who's slower. Yeah, issue number 4, Codename Hunter. Finally, it finally was drawn, quartered, and put to
yeah,
bed. At least most of it.
yeah.
At least my job is done. Now I don't know
Yes, your
what else.
job is done. I have to do the coloring and the illustration, and the great thing about that was, while we were inking, I was able to do some of the coloring with what you showed me. So that's on a save file. So what I'm going to do is take those inks, obviously, and put them together to see what works and what doesn't work. But so far, I've been doing that. It looks pretty damn good.
Yeah, and like I can always come in there and like see if you need me to flourish something else and stuff.
Yeah,
We can work it. But the thing is that what happened is here is that it's like everything else. People think they're used to the stupidity that is AI. You put in like but that, and then all something pops out. That's not how it works, man. And most people understand that this is a breathing entity when we're doing these things, and it takes a while. There could be life real situations. I mean, work, other things come up, or simply drawing block, writer's block, inker's block, whatever you want to call it. It happens. So it took a while for Ian, and then once he got them to me, the thing is that I remember you were giving to me little by little, and I'm like, I don't want to start because by the time the next, I might my style might get better, or I might lose the train of thought, and that actually ended up being that way. To his credit, Ian did get it all to me in one shot eventually, and I did start to ink it. Page 1, I'll tell you this, man. I probably did page 1 5 times.
yeah,
I just couldn't get around it. I could just not get around it. It was just the mental part of it, as well as the freaking drapes. It just had me. At the end of at the end I just gave up. I said I'm not doing them. And you said I'll put the dialogue there. Good, because there was one drapes that were on the side, and I said, like, I'm not doing those. I'm going to draw plants. Look how nice it looks. And it was nice. It came out nice. But I'm like, no, I'm not doing the drape. It just was not coming. It was not flowing. It was not flowing for me. There you go.
Yeah.
They were not. They were different. They did not look good. They did not look good. I mean, it was bothering me because I would do a pretty good job on the asteroids and everything else, and then I would ruin it with the stupid. So okay, let me fix it. But then the funny thing is that we went through it, and then I hit my mental wall at one point in last year that I didn't want to do any of this stuff. And I just needed to break. I needed to not work. I did not, no. And it's just one of those things that you get to the point that I did not like anything I was doing. It was just negative. Everything was negative. So I could not keep going. And luckily, Ian was very supportive. And he said, well, when you're ready, you're ready. So I had gotten to half of the book by that time. And then I said, okay. And it was right at that point of the story that there is a divot. You could tell here and there. Okay, we got this point, and then go to this part. And then it was like this big, I was looking at the big spread. And I'm like, all right, are we done? I had done this, but I had not done the ship part. And so I said, let me do this, get the flow. But then I stopped again. All right, we're stopping again. But it wasn't run to right after that. But I got back in it just like the beginning of the year. I actually had a time to like get away and do a bunch of stuff. And then it was like,
yeah,
I was done. Those final 10, 12 pages, I was done so quick. It was like super fast, super fast. And it because I find I kind of go, and I know I told you this, I'm going to be, because I don't know who's watching this later, I'm going to be more PG with my expression, because I didn't say this. The way I told you was different. It's like basically I got to the point that I don't give one anymore. And it's like, it's going to be this, and I hope you like it, because this is it. You know, it's the procrastination was created because I was so concerned about being Terry Austin that, for example, that it was like, no, you're not. And it was like, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. And I'm not going to be that guy, you know? But once I actually stopped worrying about it, it actually came out really good. And I started playing with it, and I started having fun. I told Ian, like, I had not had this much fun drawing ships in a while. And it's like, I just had fun creating the fire, the flames and the exhaust effects and all that kind of stuff. I was just having fun with that. And I think the pages reflect that. It was like, it shows it was very flowing. There's no hesitation on it. And by the time I got to the last page, it was looking really good. Now, Ian knows this. There you go. Ian knows it. Now, the thing you don't see in that page, because it's too tiny, is all the damn line work I had to do for that was ridiculous.
You know, I drove him nuts. I drove him nuts, folks. I really did drive him nuts with the damn spacesuit design. You know, I completely forgot it was going to be a nightmare for the inker, which turned out to be obviously Enrique. So I did apologize many times. We had many phone calls about it. I apologized each time. And I did say that in issue 5, I was not going to do any of that. So I took out all the lines for that suit. So when you do those lines, just do them at your own pace. I did say that.
It was one of those things that there were literally days that my hand was going crazy, because this is an easy page. That was actually too bad. There are other pages that are like matte. Every panel has stuff. Some of them are larger, some of them are small. My main concern, I was telling Ian, this is something for you you artists out there who say, the inker can deal with it. Yeah.
No.
Sometimes it's just better, because because he was moving along, was not like trying to make all the lines perfect. He was just doing, this is what I'm thinking. But when I do when I do the blue line, it's a mess. So I have to like go over it, and it confuses me. So I told him, look, for the next time, just leave it open. I know I know that's got to have mesh. I'll deal with it.
Yeah.
You know, and that way it'll be a lot cleaner. It'll look a lot cleaner. It's not becoming, though there are some times that I do a little bit of adding some stuff in there to give it a little more form and stuff. Yeah. But But see, that page I really like. I like the top panel because
Yeah,
I get able to play with the flames coming out. To see the one on the bottom, how the flames come out, it gives. I
yeah,
just trying to give it some action, and I really liked how those pages came out. And again, this is
yes,
like
sir.
approaching the ending stuff, which I was like flying through it. I was flying through it.
Yeah,
A lot of the stuff I could have pulled in a lot of blacks in there. I could have played with a lot of black, doing some stars. But Ian told me, look, I don't know how that effect is going to be because the story has certain things that could happen. So he's going to take over whatever got to be in the background. Though I think like
yeah,
in a few of them, I did add some stuff in the back, some of the ships and stuff. There's one space on the beginning, some of the first few pages. I think I put the blacks in there,
yeah,
but I'm going to have the original pages at my shows, and they'll be available for sale. And on some of them, I'm actually adding blacks on, and I will create my own little version of those moments.
yeah,
If I get a chance to, I have other stuff I got to get going. But the whole idea is so it'll be there, and maybe somebody will be able to say, "Oh, this is not exactly like in the book." Yeah, man, you got an extra book, extra thing.
yeah,
Because here you can see, like that whole bottom panel probably is going to have color. It's probably going to have color all the way around. But because of the storyline, I wasn't exactly sure. Is it black? Is it dark? Is it cool? Is it blue? What's in here? So to avoid giving the colorist, in other words, Ian, nightmares like I did. Um, so I was like, let me not do that to him because yeah, I mean I could fill it in, but then at the end of the day, the colors just go crazy because then you have to go over that black, and it's always going to be
mm,
darker. So, and some of these stuff, like I also, Ian's been very gracious. He hasn't said anything yet, so I did switch up a little bit. Uh, I put in I tried to be like Scott Hanna and not change the style of the artist. Scott is
yeah,
very good at just going over what the other person did, and that's why no people say Scott doesn't have a style, which is a detriment to him because he does. He's very very
yeah.
clean. But I did do something here, and I did mess with it, and I don't think Ian's probably noticed he hasn't said anything, but I did mess with the eye. I did mess with the eyes. I did.
I saw that. I didn't mind it, especially in that shot. I did not mind it. It looks pretty good, and you know me. I'm a pretty flexible guy when it comes to this stuff. So
I just wanted
I
to
was fine with
use
it.
I just wanted to give it that little difference in the eyes. Everything else I pretty much maintained. Oh, and again, it's just, and I did ask you, like, for example, one of the characters has a beard, and I said, look, man, I'm looking at this idea. And you say, oh, it's great. Okay, now I have to go back to the beginning because I did not do it at the beginning like that. So that's
Yeah,
one of the funny things is when I inked, I got to the end, but there were certain things I was not filling in. I was not filling in all the main stuff. There were a lot of details that were still pending because I wanted to get to the point and say, okay, we got to the end. So from the end, which is where my style was really established, now I went back. So once I was heading back, I was looking, okay, this character has the beard looking now like this. But when I drew him in the beginning, it was not. How can I fix it? And I would go in there. There was one panel in the first on the page one again. There was like page one. I went back and I said, no, no, that does not work. So I actually did that panel separately, sent it to Ian, and said, look, this is how we'll just slap it on there when I do the preparing the files to give them to you. I'll put this
yeah,
on top. And say, oh, man, now it looks better. Okay, of course it does. Now it's going to look like because that was a disaster. It was just there was just too much black, and their hands were disappearing, and I was like, no, no, no. So
yeah,
I said that was not good. So yeah, the beauty of and a lot of that stuff was done with photocopies back in the day, man. In the 80s, you would just photocopy, put it on top, and then there it goes to the printer just that way, man. I was like,
yeah,
there was not much difference. So at least now we can go in and change it and do the Photoshop or Clip Studio, whatever it is. Now there's a page center spread
yeah,
that comes up in the story that created a dialogue between us. I remember, and I was like, okay, but for that one was one of those that because the ship was going to be cut through the middle.
Yeah.
Again, the advantages of doing it in with Photoshop and stuff is that actually let me see if I can put this in here. Actually, what I did. I just did it like that. The ship was full 11 by 17. So I did that. So, and then when I go to the next, so the other pages, which are the big ones here, these two, I just Photoshopped them together and then put it on top and it all blends perfectly. So now when the color is done, it's all one big sheet, you know, otherwise, you got to go with the tape and all that kind of stuff. And it's just, it will never match right. You know, it's always, and right now I got a piece I'm going to be working on. Got to start it because I'm really late, really freaking late. I don't think we're going to have it on time. Maybe for Guardian State. I wanted to have it for Heroes. I don't think so because the guy who's going to, it's not just me. It's what I want to do. And the piece, it's going to be an 11 by 17 eventually print. But when I told the inker, because I'm drawing it and going to be inked by somebody else, I said, dude, I'm going to do it on 2 sheets of 11 by 17. So it's going to be 11 by 34. You know, what the hell?
Yeah.
Dude, it needs to be that big because I need to be able to get the details of the characters I want because this is a massive. We have like 8 characters on the page. You know, if I do it tiny, it's going to be really tiny. You know, I don't want to do that. So I'm going to do it really big and then reduce them and go on. And when I told the inker, it was like, what? Which, by the way, is Keith Williams. All right, so he's like, what? So you what? So yeah, dude, you're gonna appreciate it. I know it's gonna sound, you know, you don't have to. I will bring it down if you want to 11 by 17. You don't have to ink it at that size. Though it would be pretty cool. That one I'm gonna have to put together actually, and because once I have it drawn, I'll have to like bend it into the scanner and then do some stuff and then send it to them, and then restructure it so it will work. But but the thing is that it's gonna be basically I'm gonna take a scene from Infinity Wars and use it as the basis for characters created by the same guy, but for his other characters. So it's like we're switching the characters around. So it's got 8 characters on the page. It's just a lot of stuff going on. So I'm not even worried about background yet because if I have to worry about background, we'll like shoot ourselves. Like right now, we're just trying to suck her in. So if I can get that in quick, it'd be good. And I've already gotten a few commissions. I gotta start getting ready for the shows. So it's looking good. Like I said, man, it's like Codename Hunter number 4 is getting there. Number 5 will arrive probably in the next 3 years. And
hardly, it's not going to arrive in the next 3 years. No, it's not going to arrive.
I've seen pages, so it's true. It's still there. It's coming.
It's actually coming sooner than you think.
No, I know. Okay, the whole idea is that I believe the purpose is we want to be able to get issue 4 and 5 done so we could do a campaign in which you'll be able to get issues 1, 2, and 3 plus 4 and 5, and you'll get the full storyline, right?
That's absolutely. And once that's all done and we actually do a trade paperback, which will come much later, because I have to now redraw some of issue 1 because again the artwork, the style has changed.
I can't imagine why. it's like I was talking to Eric and he says, "Oh, I'm doing a few pages new of them." So he showed me one of the pages and it was like, "What do you think? You want to do this one?" I'm looking at this sucker and I'm like, "My God,
oh God, no."
I was looking at it and go like, "Seriously?" But I'm like, there is I love Eric, but man, there's every panel is gonna be full. There's no need for it to be full, 100%. It's like there's no empty air, nothing. It's like everything has to be a detail, and I'm like, oh my god, my hand's gonna die. Let me give it a. And I mean, there was one that I did a while back. One of those pages, which is actually against the characters were against this wall, and he had drawn this whole wall and up and around and all this stuff, and I had to go to every little brick, have to do all that kind of stuff. I'll tell him, man, the guy does not, it doesn't. You're not gonna get screwed over by quality, man. You're gonna get the full thing with him. Every page
Yeah,
is gonna be filled. So,
yeah,
so I know what you're talking about. Going back, going, let's switch it. So because even now I look at the cover we did for 3. I'm like, yeah, do it different. I'd do it different.
I whatever satisfies artists with our work. Even when you see the final thing, because you're like, this could have been bigger. The hand could have been more. The detailed. Or what was I thinking with that costume design?
Yeah, why do I have this guy doing all these lines anyway?
Yeah,
Well, it was at the time you were thinking like an artist. You just thinking as a writer. You were like,
yeah,
let the artist worry about it. So it's like, yeah, that's right. We're just coming at it from our own imaginations. So nothing. It's just a lot of fun, and it's work, and and at the end of the day, it's what we enjoy doing. And if I didn't enjoy it, I would just tell you, look, I'm done. I'm out of here. It's over. But
yeah,
one thing for the Kickstarter, once we go with a campaign, we're going to have good stretch goals,
yeah.
and there's one specific stretch goal there that I'm really happy about, and we're not going to talk about it in detail, but we all know
Nope.
what it is. All I
Hmm.
all we will say that it's 40 years in the making. Let's leave it at that. 40 years
Yeah,
in the making. All right, and it's about freaking time. It's showing up. So, and all I can say is that it's one of those few times that I've had to really think about how to get this done, and I think that what I came up with was quite unique to
yeah.
pull this
Very
off.
unique.
And I don't think anybody's ever done it this way. With all the different, we could talk about it. It's a little. We're gonna have a little crossover here, and
Yeah,
uh, and the thing was getting these two characters from two totally different universes to mingle. And I came up with a really interesting idea. So let's see how that works.
yeah,
And I got great friend of mine is going to be the artist. He's going to pencil this. And I'm not going to say who it is because we're still working out the details and making sure everything is nicely tidy. But
yeah.
all I'm going to say is this guy is marvelous. Let's leave it at that. Let's leave it at that. So we're gonna bring it to that Kickstarter. That's gonna be one of those things that it's been a dream of mine. And just a few years ago, when I did the anthology Might, Magic, and Monsters in Law, a character I created in the '82 finally showed up on print for the first time. A very short story. Was not even he was not the hero of the story. Was totally a secondary character, but he shows up at the end, and that's hopefully the beginning of something coming down the line. So we'll see. So a lot of
Yeah.
good things hopefully are coming out, and like everything else, it'll take forever. I mean, maybe by the time I'm 70, I'll probably have it out. It could happen that way. But yeah, it's like hopefully, like I said, it's a lot of work that's coming up. And let me see. I'm just trying to see if anything else has happened. I'm gonna have to push it a little more. No, we're still good. And so again, Stray Stories is up and running. We're only about $425 away from our goal, which is come on, people, let's
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
Let's get going.
absolutely.
And Codename Hunter number 4, we're getting ready. Number 5 is coming down the line, and then everything will be set up. We're looking at maybe July, maybe could be.
Yeah,
Never know.
absolutely. Yeah,
And that July of this year. not next year.
Yes, this year. No, this year.
Right.
Yeah, this year.
We're trying for this year. And the thing is that one thing I like about the strange stories, and this is one of the way I like to work.
Yeah.
All the artwork is done. Okay, so you don't have. So once he already says it on the campaign. Once the funds hit his bank, off and running.
Bam.
And that's the way. That's great. I mean, I remember I got Kickstarters from when I started getting Kickstarters doing that stuff, maybe 2015. Still never produced. And we're talking about people with name, and I'm not naming them here because I'm not going to shame them this way because I don't think it's because there could be many reasons why, of course. But I know one case, the person in charge of the project died, and he passed away. The person who was running all this stuff passed away, so that created a bunch of stuff. To this day, I lost money on that campaign. The other one is like, I don't know what happened. And I bumped into the artist at a show a few years ago. He says, "Oh, it's coming." And then, no. So I always try to do projects in which all the art will be ready, and have I done a few that there weren't? Yeah. And they tend to have a little bit of more lag in there. But here, this is great. You don't have to wait for it. And that's one of the cool thing I think about it is that within a few months, you should have it in your hands, between printing and shipping and all that kind of stuff. So who knows? By the time I get to Ohio, I might have a copy with me already. So So we shall see.
Yeah, this is fantastic. I can't thank enough for you to come back on to talk with me about this stuff, talk with us. And folks, if you haven't noticed, the actual link to the Kickstarter has been scrolling this whole time. Yeah, so definitely want to check it out. But also, if you want commissions by this guy, or you just want to check out his convention itinerary, here's the link to his website.
Yep, that's the cool thing. That website I launched it about less than a month ago, and it's like it's my new crack cocaine, man. I spend my time on that thing all the time, and and it's like time I go in there, and it's like what 2 hours, and it's just trying to give it a good look because it's not just for myself; it's also my daughter's involved because it's the studio website, and right now the emphasis is myself because I'm running it all. And I keep telling her, look, I need this from you. Yeah. And I go, man, still not getting it. And I'm like, and so I start putting little things in there. And like every once in a while, I'll see, what are you doing there? Oh my God, what is that? I'm like, oh, we got to post it. No, not yet. Yes, we are. No, not yet. Yes, we are. And she hides a lot of stuff from me because she knows how critical I am. And it's not to be critical just for the sake of it. It's to be critical for improving. And but she at the same time, she's like me. She goes, it has to be perfect. No, it doesn't. We got to get over that. We got to get over it. You got to move it because I'm telling her, you got to produce about 30 pieces of art to sell too. So you got to get going because that's what's happened to me. I probably produced more than that, and I still haven't moved. And then it may be years, and then suddenly, oh, you want that? Okay. And other times I'll produce something immediately and it's gone. It's like when I did the watercolors of the Link the other day.
Yeah.
First show I went to, gone. Somebody bought it immediately. My trainer bought the Spider-Man that I did in watercolor the other day.
Wow.
Yeah, he was going to wait for the print, he told me. I wait for the print. I go, don't be cheap, man. Don't be cheap. I'll pay you well. Man. Give it back to me. So he ended up buying it, and so he's going to pay me tomorrow. But so sometimes they go quick. Other times I'll have a sketch cover that's been sitting there, and all of a sudden somebody says, "Oh, I love it." Go, well, it's been there for 2 years. Okay, now it finally found its home. It happens, man. It's like so much. It's like sometimes even the original artworks and stuff takes a while, and so we'll see. But like I said, right now, next month. It's when I go, not next month, this month, actually, already in May. Today's May 1st. So this month we begin in earnest. We start this year for now, 14 guest appearances this year. This is a big number for me. I haven't done this many in a long time. In a long time.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're going cross country. Going cross country. This week, this next week, I'm at Phillipsburg for my annual showing over there with them. It's a small high school show. They're great. I do Phillipsburg. I do right after that. The next Sunday. I'm in New York City, here in the hometown, doing Graphics Con, which is a total only artwork show. There is no comics. There's no prints. None of that stuff. It is just there, and I'm so honored that myself, the whole studio, my daughter's coming. We got invited to be a guest there, and we're going to be surrounded by Ray Lago, Walter, and Louise Simonson. We got Chris and Christy Umiga. They're going to be there as well. So I'm like imposter syndrome. So it's like so we're there, and it's gonna be great because my daughter, when I explained it to the promoter, I said, "Look, she does not comics, man. She is traditional artist, like inks and shit." And he goes like oils and stuff. He goes like, "Oh, have her bring it, man. Bring her. This is gonna be great." So she's gonna be taking her original art to the show. It's an art show for her. So we're doing that, and then a few weeks later, I'll be back over in Brooklyn, if I'm not mistaken, for Forest Hills Comic Con. So I'll do that one
Yeah.
over there. And then we hit the big one. In June we go to the very next week. After that one, I'll be at guesting for 2 days at Lehigh Valley in Pennsylvania, right in Allentown. Then I hit the road for the big one, Heroes. We'll be at Heroes Comic Con. And then right after that, I come back. I head off to Europe for a small little show on Belgium. And then I come back for Garden State. Slap in the face. Bam. And then after that, I got a month off. I got a feeling I'm going to have a little stack of stuff sitting in my email going like, "Hey, man, where's Codename 5? We need Codename 5. No, I'm going to have to do that in July. And all's going to come in. And then I hit Terrific Con, and which is Connecticut. Then I do Plastic City. Then that's in September. I got Cincinnati. I'm going to be later in Akron, Ohio this year as well. I mean, and I just got into the Ocean City in Maryland at the end of the year in December. So all the way to December 12th and 13th, I'll be working this year. Which I wanted to get to the Ocean City one. It's a nice little show. Never done it, and Keith has told me it's a lot of fun. The hotels are cheap because nobody wants to be at the shore in wintertime. I can't imagine why. And so it's going to be a lot cheaper to go down there, and looking forward to it. So 14 shows, and hopefully, you never know, miracles could happen. Maybe I'll be back in New York Comic Con. You never know. You never know. I got a nice little website. Hopefully they'll like it.
I think they will. I think they will.
I'm going to be totally honest. Part of the reason the website is looking this good is because I wanted to. Hey, maybe I'll impress the people. Impress the people. Yeah. Hey, man, do this stuff to get back in there, and we'll see. Oh, Ocean City. The coolest thing of that is that I get a full booth, an 8x10. So it's like for me, yes.
Wow.
That's gonna be really nice though. And they're all mixed together. He says that he mixes. He doesn't have like an artist alley and vendors. Everybody's in the same kind of deal. Oh, great, good. Let's give it a shot. Yeah. So yeah, and it's funny because I got back into Akron. I had not done Akron since 2019. 21 was the last time I did it. I think it was in 2021. I think I did it the last time. And the promoter of that show is actually a writer in Strange Stories. And that's how we got back together. And that's how weird. This is how small this little world is. That when I was looking at that name and I noticed he was from Ohio, and where he's from Ohio is where the show is. And I'm like, hey man, have you ever done this show in Akron? And stuff like, And I'm like, yeah, I run the show. And I'm like, what? So I went back to the emails and going, oh my God, it is him. Oh, that was like, oh man, I'm so sorry. Forgot your name. He goes like, so he goes like, you want to come back? Who? Yeah.
That's perfect.
So I'm like,
That's
I'll go back.
perfect.
Yeah, so I'll be hitting Ohio twice here. I'll be hitting Ohio twice. Like I said, it's been a while because I haven't done Cincinnati for 3 years because the venue was being renovated. So I'm finally back. And so I got 3 big shows this year: Terrificon, Cincy, which is probably right up there in size, and then Heroes, which is the biggest one. And only New York would top Heroes.
Yeah.
And even that, yes, here New York will top it in the sense of probably sales and the stuff, but quality for me and the people who work at its Heroes is just top. New Jersey, the Garden State one works really well with me, and they are really really good down here. And Cincinnati is top shelf as well, but Heroes is another level. They really really really, and I owe them a lot. I mean, they were the first really big convention to support me and bring me in.
Yeah.
They said, you know what? Come on over. They said, I think
Yeah.
you should join it. Just come party with us. All right. Well, really? And I've always tried to help in providing art for their auctions. I do a lot of the drink and draw stuff. I produce little cards. For the drink and draw, they have this little cute little card there that I draw on the back of, and I always produce a few. And then last year, I actually started getting into. Apparently, my artwork got so much better that now I'm actually in the higher level. For people have to pay a little more for my little card. So I'm like, okay.
All right.
So little by little, so yeah. So it's a nice little session in my website which talks about every place I'm doing or all the shows I'm doing. And I also include the podcast. You can see me where I'm going to be in the next podcast. I'll be doing indie comics relay on Monday, and that'll be my last podcast for a while, I think. So,
all right,
we're pushing through it. Yep. But again, Codename Hunter soon, very soon.
Very.
We will get this.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. It's been a long time coming, and people have obviously said nice, good stuff about issues 1 through 3. I've had obviously other indie creators read it, and they enjoy it. They're like, "When's the next issue? When's the next issue?" I'm like, "Soon, soon. It's coming soon. It's coming soon." So yeah, we're gonna be finally delivering on that and a lot more. So we got some surprises coming up, and I can't wait to introduce you guys to those surprises. And yeah, I think that's gonna be it for us tonight. Enrique, thank you again for coming on.
Yep, and I appreciate the shout out for the strange stories. I really think once people grasp how cool this is, and they're gonna really have a great time with it. And like I said, one of the advantages is all of it's done, man. It's all done, and we're ready just to go print. So you'll have it in your hands really, really soon. So, and again, come find me at a show. Bring your copy. I'll sign it for free. Thanks for supporting me. You get a free signature.
Yeah. Well, I'm Ian Miller, and this has been Triple Threat Comics YouTube channel. Have yourselves a great night.